Hello. Hey, good day. This is Steve Bedell, your EXP Realtor in the Villages. I'm here to answer all your questions and anything you'd like to know about real estate in the Villages. And even if it is about real estate, I've lived here over 6 years, so I got a pretty good handle on how things work down here. Okay, so today we're going to talk about something that I'm sure is on your mind, and that is why are there so many homes for sale, pre-existing homes for sale in the Villages? And I'll give you my opinion, and you let me know what you think. Okay? Okay, well, reason number one there's so many pre existing homes for sale in the Villages is because the villages, properties of the villages, the developer, they are the only ones here that can sell new homes. And they're being very aggressive, more than I've seen ever since I've been here, about selling new homes. That's because a lot of the areas that they had in some of the outlying or furthest away places from everything have not sold all that well, or they've required a much more time, and they've actually been discounting prices on them, which is something they don't do very often. So you got the villages out there acting very aggressively to unload all the properties they build, and they are just a building machine. They just build like crazy. They just keep them coming all the time, and it's up to them to keep selling them too. So that's a big reason, because if they can convince people, hey, here's a new home we got for you here. Why don't you buy this, and instead of buying that pre-existing home that you got? And sometimes it makes good reason. A couple of caveats here. Remember, if you're buying a new home, it's new, you got all new stuff, but it's usually pretty basic stuff too that a lot of people in pre-existing homes may have upgraded. Um, and the new homes have pretty substantial bonds on them, which can add significantly to your monthly costs. But anyway, in any case, they are being very aggressive in selling new homes. So that's reason number one, at least according to me. Now, reason number two, I have to write things down or I'll forget. I wrote two and three. Sellers, I don't think, are being very realistic about their home prices. We all know that 2021 through 2023, the housing prices they raised substantially in the villages like they did in any place else in the country. And a lot of these sellers who were lucky enough to catch that wave that went up in a big move like that are not being very realistic in what they want to sell them for. They think the market is still here. Well, it isn't here. It isn't down here, but it may be here because things went up. They kind of leveled off. Do you see prices on homes that sell every week? Have they raised the listing price? No. For every house that raised the listing price, you're going to find 25 that have reduced the listing price. So I think a lot of sellers are not being realistic. And when I even look at some properties on the market that have just come off the market, I look at some of them and say, should I contact this seller and see if I can maybe help them with this property? And I look, and if they're putting a $450,000 price tag on a $400,000 house, I don't even bother, because I'm going to have trouble with that seller, and they're going to want to sell it for 450 when they got a $400,000 house, and that's just not how it works. So I don't bother with it. So you get some sellers that are still stuck up there, like it's still 2022, and they're going to be stuck there for a while. And the third reason is interest rates. Now, here's the thing about the villages. Most of the houses purchased in the villages are paid for with cash. They're not mortgaged. And it's usually because, hey, the homeowners coming here from someplace else. They're in Michigan, they're in New York, they're in Oregon, wherever they're from. They sell the home there, and then they take the proceeds from that and they come here and they buy a new home and they pay cash for it. Well, that's about 60 to 65% of the market. But don't forget, there's still another 35% there. That's a pretty big chunk of any market, 35%. They have to mortgage. They have to get approved. They have to go through the hoops that are involved in buying a home, and you have to finance it. So So that's what happens. So you still got those people. Is that going to put a drag on the market? Of course it is. 35% is a pretty substantial figure. So that's my opinion. Those are the three reasons right there. Well, let's take a look at a couple of properties here. I'm at the MLS right now, and I did a search. And you can see down in here, active, Florida, the villages, and I put in a huge price spot here where most of the homes are sold. I put $300,000 to $500,000, and I put the days on market is over 100 days. So out of about 460 properties that are active on the market right now, we got 81 of them that are on the market for over 100 days. So let me knock this down a little bit. Let's take a look and see what's out there. Let's check this baby here. Let's move out here so we can see the days. They're right there. Can I keep that and the link? Maybe. Let's take a look at this one right here. I haven't looked at them. Okay, boardroom trail. Okay. This is a 3-2. It's $359,000. Price reduced. Savvy buyers. It's in 32163. So that's the Brownwood area or south of 44. Here's the thing, though. I'm going to tell you, when I look up here and I see the listing office and the agents, these are sold by out-of-town companies, or the seller is acting as their own agent. Because this house looks like it's properly priced. It's 1,634 square feet for a 3-2, and it was built in 2015. So, yep, that's in Brownwood. Is that a fair price? I would think so. For a 3-2 in the villages, that's a very good price. But I'm going to tell you, I'm just going to throw it out there. If you're buying or selling a house in the villages, you need to have a realtor who lives in the villages, who understands the villages, because I have worked with realtors that don't work here. They just don't get it. It's different from every place else. You can't work with properties in the villages. We don't have HOAs. We have CDDs. We have, it's always a fight when you work with people who don't live here. So you need a realtor. If you're buying or selling in the villages, hey, I'd like it to be me, no kidding. But if you need a realtor and you're buying and selling in the villages, make sure they live here and they understand how things work and they go through the day-to-day stuff that's involved. You want to be able to do that. Okay, so this house looks pretty properly priced, but let's go back here. Let's bump up a little bit in price. And let's see, Marion, this is a little further south. This is what, 380? Let's hit this baby right here. 1,400 square feet, 3 and 2. That's a little small for this price range, maybe. Maybe it's got a nice place it's living. It's by Lopez. It's up in the Marion County area. Final plank flooring. Touchstone. Again, I'm looking at phone numbers here, and I'm telling you, these are properties that are not being sold by people who live in the villages. I can tell you that. Okay, so again, hey, like I just said, it's probably a great property, great price. You need someone here selling it and looking out for it every day. Let's just go take a look at one more for kicks. We'll go up to here. Let's get into the mid 450s. Here's a place here. We'll do one not in Marion County. We'll do one in Sumter County. Right here, we got 1,865 square feet. For $450,000, built in 2012, and this is also a Brownwood home. And let's see, Diamond Jen. Just for kicks, I'm going to look down here. There's a whole bunch of stuff there. Wow, a whole bunch of realtor remarks. Never seen that many remarks. Okay, that is local realtors, so they're doing the right thing there. And how many days on the market is this one? 131 days. Is that a nice looking house? Does that seem like a pretty fair price? Well, I'd have to do a little more, but just give an idea. Pretty nice house for that. Okay, rugs. I'm going to tell you, people do not like rugs in the main living area in the villages. Bedrooms, fine. You got your carpet in there. But this is a big drawback and holds people back. A lot of people will not even look at a house if it's got carpet in it. So if you're serious about selling, sometime you might be better off to pay for the flooring job before you sell it, because that's a big drawback right there. Okay. Okay. Well, I hope this has been helpful, enlightening, and provided a little insight for you. Until next week, I'll come back with another report that's hopefully giving you a lot more information and will help you make decisions whether the villages is a good place for you, and more information about things that you can use if you're a buyer or a seller. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. Thank you. See you next week. Bye now.